WrestleMania moments are just another piece of WWE's branding, not much more than a trademark or a hashtag. I'm gonna have my WrestleMania moment is up there with I'm loving it and Taste the Rainbow, but there's no denying that WrestleMania has produced many hashtag moments, copyright, trademark, patent pending, that have shocked fans to their very core. Whether they're outrageous betrayals, anger-inducing missteps, or surprising upsets, these are the little pieces of history that made the fans leap from their seats. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and here are the 10 most shocking WrestleMania moments in history. Number 10, 18 seconds. The 5-year-old fans of Sheamus shouted, "Yay!" The adult fans of the American Dragon shouted, "F***ing f***, mother you f***, sh**, Sorry. Yes, at WrestleMania 28, the original lobster head, Mr. Feller himself, felled one of the most accomplished independent wrestlers on the planet with a single kick to unseat him as champion in a match that lasted 18 seconds. Whilst many Bryan fans were worried that this was the end of their hero, it turned out to be the shocking catalyst to a chant that would lift Daniel Bryan from the mid-card all the way to the main event of WrestleMania 30. Number 9, Triple H betrays X-PAC. DX, which is legally distinct from BX, I just want to make that abundantly clear, rocked the 90s with their anti-authority and pro-sucking-it platform. "Willies," said Triple H and Shawn Michaels. "Stop that," said Vince. "Tell my bum to stop that," they replied, and so on, and sausages, etc. When Michaels left the WWF after WrestleMania 14, Triple H took over the faction and took it to new heights with China, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, and Bezzy mate X-PAC by his side. For one whole year, everything was gravy excellent apart from that time that X-PAC blacked up, but never mind about that. It would all come to an end when Triple H turned on his friend to help Shane McMahon retain his European title. It was a double dose of shocking, not only because it saw Triple H side with the corporation, but also the tearing apart of two real-life best friends. Triple H is a naughty little biscuit. Number 8, Hogan pins YOKOZUNA. Hey, remember how I said that some of these would be terrible? Step right up, worst WrestleMania ending of all time. Come in, sit down, go f*** yourself. Hulk Hogan was on his way out of the WWF to pursue a career in movies. Yeah. And Bret Hart was champion going into his first ever WrestleMania main event against a giant-sized Yokozuna. Although at this point the average WWF crowd was nowhere near as smarky and likely to favour the smaller, better wrestlers over the slower big fellas that they are today, many were hoping this would be Hart's big moment, conquering the giant and cementing his place on top. Nope! No! Yokozuna pinned Hart after he was blinded by salt, then out came Hulk Hogan. "No, this can't be happening, brother," he said. "Oh, cool," thought the fans. "Will the match be restarted? Will Hart get a no?" And the Hulkster was the new champ. It's sort of like what Rollins did at Mania 31, except, awful. It was surprising, in the same way that coming home to find your dog dead is surprising. Number 7, The Gathering. WrestleMania 30 was one of the most shocking WrestleManias of all time. In front of a packed crowd at the Silverdome, Daniel Bryan finally reached the top of the mountain, Cesaro picked up the Big Show like he was a fat baby, and one other thing happened that, we're gonna get to later. But the event kicked off with one hell of a surprise. The fans in the Silverdome became unglued as not one, not two, but 3 all-time legends of the business shared the ring. Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, 3 faces that belong to the WWE's version of Mount Rushmore, along with the gobbledygooker, legends to a man. The fans in the Silverdome roared as each man made his entrance, reminding us all why WrestleMania can be so special. Number 6, Owen upsets Bret. From one WrestleMania opening to another, Bret Hart vs. Owen Hart is one of those perfect undercard matches that puts the wrestle squarely into WrestleMania and shouts it loud and clear that beneath the fireworks and flags and grimaces is a living, breathing art form. And you can't spell heart without art. Or hat, but that muddies the point. The opening contest of WrestleMania pitted Owen against his older and much more accomplished brother Bret, and it was a fast-paced technical gem. After Owen had attacked Bret at the Royal Rumble, many expected the older Hart to gain a measure of revenge on his toe-ragged brother, but against all expectations, Owen countered a victory roll to snatch a shocking upset win. Of course, Bret would then go on to beat Yokozuna in the main event later that night, so that's a fine enough consolation prize. Number 5, the Shooting Star Press. The only man that can kill Brock Lesnar is Brock Lesnar himself, ably demonstrated at WrestleMania 19 when Bork almost killed himself by botching a Shooting Star Press, landing right on his mad head and giving himself a gigantic concussion. If Brock, the shaven bear full of madness and meat, had pulled off the Shooting Star Press, that would have been shocking in and of itself, but the fact that he almost paralysed himself in front of 54,000 people slams it right onto this list head first. Oh, of course he was still able to hit his opponent Kurt Angle with an F5 and win the title. Obviously, this is Brock Lesnar we're talking about. He eats pain and poos victory. Number 4, the cash-in. The Money in the Bank contract. WWE's best friend. It's a parachute. The get-out-of-shit booking free card doesn't always work. Sheamus. But most of the time, the silly-looking lunchbox provides one hell of a shocking moment, which raises the logical question, if WrestleMania was supposed to be the pinnacle of WWE's year, when the whole world was watching, why has no superstar ever cashed in at the granddaddy of them all? Well, ponder that no more. At WrestleMania 31, the man with the second most famous penis in wrestling, Seth Rollins, trotted down to the ring and turned a match between between Lesnar and Reigns, which was better than any bastard thought it would be, into a triple threat match before scampering off with the title tee-hee. By rights, it should have been dreadful. WrestleMania is normally where carefully crafted feuds build to their climax unmolested. I don't know why I use that language, but at this point, with fans poised to reject Roman Reigns as champion, it was an absolute booking thunderbolt and very much welcomed. Number 3, the body slam. It's the original WWE moment, trademark hashtag. The handful of seconds that defined wrestling for decades. A blonde man picking up a big man and plonking him on the ground. It seems tame now, but it was hugely shocking at the time. Andre the Giant had a 15-year career during which he'd never been body slammed before, except, by Strong Kobayashi, Butcher Vachon, Harley Race, Stan Hansen, Kamala, Antonio Inoki, El Canek, Ricky Choshu, Otto Wanz, and Hulk Hogan like 5 times prior to WrestleMania 3. But look, it was still a big deal, okay? On WWF television, the Giant had not been slammed, and when the Hulkster hoisted up the massive lad, the fans near lost their mind. Number 2, the heel turn. Steve Austin turned babyface at WrestleMania 13, and so began the main event journey of the Rattlesnake, who during his war with Vince McMahon would end up being one of the biggest wrestling draws of all time, with fans erupting into squeals and giggles every time that glass broke. 4 years later at WrestleMania 17, they turned him heel in the main event. He sold his soul to Satan himself and went crazy, started hugging people, turned face, turned heel again, then turned face at the end of 2001. It was a weird year. Even if the heel run wasn't your cup of tea, or whatever it is that Americans drink, I think it's Eagle's blood, you have to admit that turning the biggest babyface in wrestling heel is one hell of a shocking move. And number 1, JBL quitting at WrestleMania 25. No, of course it isn't. Number 1, the ending of the streak. Yeah, sorry to be totes predictables lols, but anything other than this at the top of the list would be an absolute wump to the dangles. The Undertaker had 21 victories at WrestleMania over legends like Mark Henry, Giant Gonzalez, and A-Train, and a few others, but then at WrestleMania 30, in front of 75,000 fans at the Silverdome, Mad Brock Lesnar planted the dead man with a third F5, and that was that. What made the moment even more shocking was that the build to the match had been fairly poor, and the match itself had been downright dull, with Undertaker suffering a concussion early on and the bout never fully recovering. However, after the pinfall, boredom turned to disbelief in one utterly electric, heart-stopping moment. 22 years in the making. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter here. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.